How to define a shared library in a folder in Jenkins. In a previous video, I showed you how to set up a global pipeline library on a Jenkins controller. The link to that video is down in the description. By setting up a shared library as a global pipeline library, that means every pipeline job on that controller can use that shared library. But let's say for a moment that you have a shared library that only you should be using. How do you define that? That's what we're going to be looking at in this video. Now here's today's starting point. I have a Jenkins LTS controller version 2.452.2. I also have two folders set up on this controller, folder A and folder B. Now let's make sure that we don't have a global pipeline library set up on this controller. So we'll go to Manage Jenkins, System, let's search for Global Library, and we can see here under Global Trusted Pipeline Libraries, nothing has been set up at all. Now let's go ahead and go back into the top level of the controller, and let's go into folder A. Within folder A, we can see that we have a test job. Let's also double check folder B. I also have the same test job. Now let's take a look at folder A. Folder A is where I've already gone in and set up my shared library. So we'll go to folder A, configure, and then under pipeline libraries, we can already see that I've set up a library. I've given it a name of shared library. The default version or the default branch is main. We've set up all the configurations, and then we're pointing it at a repository. Now let's go back up to the top under pipeline libraries. We'll see here shareable libraries available to any pipeline jobs inside this folder. So if I set up a job at the top level of this folder, just like I did with test job, that job will be able to use it. But also if I set up any jobs in subfolders to this folder, those jobs also will be able to use this shared library. Now, the second sentence is critical. These libraries will be untrusted, meaning that their code runs in the Groovy sandbox. When you set up a shared library at the global level, then it runs in a trusted mode. In fact, we saw that in the name, Global Trusted Pipeline Libraries. But here, within the folder, it's going to be running within the sandbox. That means some things that work within a global pipeline library will not work within a folder-based pipeline library. So let's go take a look at our job, folder A. We'll click on test job and look at our configuration. What we'll see here is we have a simple Hello World pipeline. We're using our shared library pipeline library, and then we're using the step that comes from that library, Hello World. We pass in two parameters. If we take a look at the output from this, when we take a look, we can see that we're loading the library, shared library at main. Remember that we set our default to main. And then when we scroll down, when the job runs, we can see echo hello Bob, today is Friday, because those were the two parameters that we passed in. Now let's go take a look at folder B. Within folder B, our configuration does not have a pipeline library. So when we go and take a look at test job, which is configured the same as the test job under folder A, we can see here from the output that the job was unable to find any definition of any libraries that had the name of shared library. Therefore, the job fails. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on X at CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.